guys, this is Kriti Bhatnagar, your legal reasoning educator at 12 Minutes to CLAT. And in today's video, we will be talking about Introduction to Legal Reasoning section. Now, it is very important that before we start our preparation for our exams, we need to understand what is the legal reasoning section, what does it comprise of, and what are the core differences between all the major laws that we will be studying. Starting with the legal reasoning section consists of three things that we need to do. First of all, understand the core 5 subjects, the concepts of the 5 subjects. Secondly, legal current affairs. So for the past 1 year, whatever has been in news related to legal reasoning, some important Supreme Court judgments, certain important acts passed by the Parliament. And thirdly, practice of questions, including PYQs, sectional tests, and mocks. So these three things form the core of the legal reasoning section. Starting with what is legal reasoning section comprised of. So for that, we need to first understand what is law. So what is law? Law is a rule or regulation made by the legal authority of the country. For example, via the Parliament or by the Supreme Court or by the courts of the country. Now, these rules and regulations are applied upon people with legal backing onto it. Now, rules and regulations can be made by any authority. For example, your parents might have certain rules and regulations for you. Your school might have certain rules and regulations for you. Certain religious places might have certain rules and regulations. But are they law? No. Why? Because they lack legal authority attached to it. Thus, it is important that we understand what is law. Law is a rule or regulation that has a legal backing to it, that has a legal authority attached to it. Now, law can be divided in two categories. One, criminal law, and second, civil law. What is criminal law? Criminal law is any act punishable by state. State here means the government. So any act which is punishable by the government will fall under the category of criminal law. What is punishment? Punishment means either going to prison, jail, secondly giving fine to the state, and third or death penalty. So if for any act such kinds of punishment can be imposed upon a person, they will fall under the ambit of criminal law. But what is civil law? All the acts that do not fall under criminal law will fall under the category of civil law. Now, how is law made in a country? So there are two methods. One is a law made via the Parliament. Parliament is the highest sovereign power of our country. As we know, there are three organs of a state: legislature, executive, and judiciary. What is the purpose of legislature? The purpose of legislature is to make laws. What is the purpose of executive? The purpose is to implement laws. Or for example, all your government officers, your police, these are people who implement the laws. And lastly, but not the least, judiciary. What is the purpose of judiciary? To interpret laws. So, a law can be made via two methods, specifically in India. First, a law made by Parliament. Any law made by Parliament will have the highest power, will have the highest authority to be implemented. Second method is, if there is a topic, there is an act on which a law has not been made by Parliament, a judgment of the court would also work as law in that scenario. For example, in the case of Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, a law was made regarding sexual harassment at workplace. There was no act at that time which dealt with this situation. So the Supreme Court judgment and the guidelines given by the Supreme Court acted as law. But the major way to make a law is via the authority of the Parliament. If the Parliament passes an act, for example, the Parliament passed the Prevention of Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act. After this act was passed, the Vishakha guidelines will not be applied. In the sense, this act will have the authority to work in workplaces and will have a legal backup attached to it. So, the laws made by Parliament have the highest authority If on a topic a law is not present, the Supreme Court can give a decision and that decision will be followed until a new law is formed by the Parliament. Coming back to the topic that a law is divided between criminal law as well as civil law. So I told you any act which is made punishable by government will fall under criminal law. Now our legal reasoning section consists of 5 laws. Law of torts, criminal law, contract law, constitutional law and miscellaneous law. So out of which your law of torts, constitutional law, contract law form part of civil law. Criminal law of course forms part of criminal law, and then comes the miscellaneous laws. So what is the meaning of miscellaneous? Whatever is left out of it. So all the laws apart from these core laws will form part of miscellaneous laws. For example, family law, Consumer Protection Act, intellectual property rights, administrative law, arbitration, and etc. 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 All of these laws form part of miscellaneous laws. Obviously, we don't have to study all of them. We just have to study the major miscellaneous laws of the country as well as international law, a part of international law. Now coming to our major civil laws. So what is the purpose of tort law? Tort law deals with violation of a legal right. What is a legal right? Legal right is a right provided by any law. So whenever a right is provided to you via law, and if that is infringed, if that is violated, a person can get a remedy under law of torts. Second, dealing with contract law. Contract law deals with agreements between parties. For example, I sold my phone to B for rupees 60,000. He took the phone from me but did not pay me the money. In such a case, I will ask for a remedy under contract law. Third is constitutional law. Constitutional law is the most supreme law of the country. In the sense, it provides as to the structure of our country. It tells us whether we are a democracy, whether we are a presidential form of government, whether we are a parliamentary form of government, what kind of 3 tiers of government exist in the country, how will citizenship be decided. All of these things are given under the Constitution. Also, Constitution is that document which provides validity to other laws. Obviously, how will the court decide whether a law is valid or not? They need a uniform set of rules. So that is provided by the Constitution. For example, if any law violates fundamental rights, it can be declared as void. Coming to criminal law. So for criminal law, we have BNS, which provides with the different types of crime that fall under the definition of crime and what will be the punishment of those crimes. Now, a party who files a civil case is called as plaintiff, and the party against whom the case is filed is called as the defendant. But in criminal law, the party who is the victim who has filed the case is called as the prosecution, prosecutor, prosecutrix, and the person against whom the case is filed is called as an accused. If it is proved that the crime was committed by the accused, he is known as a convict. If it is not proved and he is made to go free, then he is called as an acquit. Coming to our miscellaneous laws, so most important miscellaneous laws will be family laws, Consumer Protection Act, and our IPR. What is family law consisting of? So in our country, we do not have any uniform civil code. In the sense, we don't follow one law for everybody dealing with family matters. Example, marriage, divorce, inheritance, maintenance. For this, laws differ according to each religion. Hindu laws are different, Muslim laws are different, Christian laws are different, Parsi laws are different. Thus, this will form part of family law. Secondly, Consumer Protection Act deals with consumers, anybody who has bought certain goods or used certain services. If they have any complaint, then they can approach under the Consumer Protection Act. And third, dealing with intellectual property rights. So what are property rights? Any good or property that is owned by someone, the rights that arise due to the existence of that property are called as property rights. What are intellectual property rights? If anyone develops something out of their intellect, For example, a logo, writing a book, writing a drama, making an invention, then such cases fall under intellectual property right. They get the right to stop others from claiming their work as their own or making profits out of their work. So these are the 5 major core laws that we have to study for our legal reasoning section. Apart from this, we have to make sure that while we understand the concepts through classes, we also practice a lot of questions. So if any of you are preparing for the examination, then you can enroll in our courses. We have different courses for CLAT, for ALIT, as well as for MHCET and your 3-year LLB as well. So if any of you wish to enroll in the same, the description box has the link to our website, which is 12minutes2clat.com, on which the different courses are available. You can check out for yourself whichever course you wish to enroll in. Apart from that, if you want to download our app on your phone, that facility is also available. You can go to the App Store and search 12 Minutes to CLAT and you will find our app. If any of you like my teaching method, for additional discount on the courses, you can use my code, which is KritiB. I really hope to see you in the classes and I hope this session was helpful. In case you still have any doubts, you can write your doubts in the comment section below and I will definitely answer you back. With our courses, you will also get practice sectional tests, mock tests. So make sure you're practicing them as well. So alright, that is all for today. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Have a great week ahead. And I hope to see you in the classes. Take care and bye-bye.